Hey yo, y'all, it's Brian here. Today, talking about the San Francisco 49ers. Well, I think you guys know by now with the whole Brandon Aiyuk 49ers situation, the drama, mostly on Brandon Aiyuk. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I don't know if he's hanging out with Antonio Brown or he just has a bad crew that he's hanging out with. It's a weird situation, a very bizarre one. I've never seen a weird tension between a player and a team, but it's mostly on the player in this case, I think. A lot of times the teams are kind of greedy and stuff like that, but in this case, 49ers did everything you could ask for a superstar or a great player, pay him a good amount of money, and have an investment in them in the future. But Brandon has not really taken advantage of the situation. In fact, he has taken advantage of the situation in a bad way by getting paid and then getting hurt. Not his fault, but I mean, sometimes it's just some really bad timing to get hurt after getting a big payday and then really never playing for the 49ers ever again. And right now, he keeps wanting to go to the Washington Commanders. I don't know if that's going to be a thing right there, but we'll see if Adam Peters and company want to take him. And after all this drama, I don't know if they're really down to take him in this situation. And he's just been really wild, really crazy. I don't know what happened to him, honestly. I mean, if you guys have an answer, please let me know. Yeah, like I said, is he hanging out with Antonio Brown? That's a question to be asked right there. But yeah, that's really the big story with the 49ers this offseason. It's been a pretty quiet one. Other than that, I mean, he keeps talking about the 49ers. He keeps making videos, TikToks, stuff like that, criticizing the 49ers. And is it warranted? I don't know. I mean, it's up to people to decide on that. I mean, he does talk about John Lynch being a weirdo. He talked about Kyle Shanahan being immature baby, something like that. I mean, there's a little bit of truth to that. I'm not gonna lie, because Kyle Shanahan can be a little wild too, but I don't think he's that wild in terms of like not caring about the players and stuff like that. I think Kyle and John, for the most part, cares about their players. They try to do everything they can to ensure that they have a successful time with the 49ers. They try to pay them. I mean, they try to reward loyalty, but sometimes when you have bad loyalty like this, it makes you become very cutthroat, in the previous offseason where they let a lot of guys go, like Talanoa, Hufunga, Dre Greenlaw. And yes, they were injury prone at that time. Dre Greenlaw is back with us. That's great. Saying that, with this whole Brandon Aiyuk thing, they don't know if they want to be being too loyal to the players because, you have stuff like this, bad stuff in return, not getting the investment that you're going to get in return. It's been not a good time for the 49ers in terms of that. But, I mean, they could get a lot of their money back by him not showing up to training camp, mini camp, everything going on right now. And do I expect him to come back to the 49ers? Probably not. So, it's going to be awkward if he does come back because technically he has to come back to the 49ers. He's on the did not show up list, the no show list on the 49ers end. And if he wants to get released or anything like that, then he has to show up some way and check back in with the team. But do I believe that will happen? Not anytime soon. Maybe eventually. But right now he has a big ego. Right now he thinks he's all that. He thinks he's all cool, and that's not happening at all. And it's been weird because for many years on this channel since Brandon Aiyuk got drafted, I always thought he was a great player, but I never thought that he was the number one receiver for the 49ers. I thought he was a glorified number two, maybe one and a half receiver, but definitely not number one. I always thought Debo was the guy for the 49ers, and now Mike Evans is going to be taking over as the number one guy. So, it was a little questioning why the 49ers paid him a lot of money. Some of you guys probably thought that they should pay him, they shouldn't pay him. I was in the mindset that if they paid him, that's great. I hope he does well. But if they didn't pay him, they let him go, then I wouldn't be mad at all. And, the 49ers unfortunately did not choose correct in this case. Not their fault. I mean, Brandon was just being weird and wild, and he still is now. So, I don't blame him trying to pay him and try to keep the team long term, the core talent, but it has not happened in this case. And yeah, it is what it is. So, let me know what you guys think about this whole Brandon Aiyuk situation. Is this going to end for Aiyuk? Is he just going to stay in his house, in his couch all day and not come back to the team to try to get cut or anything like that? Because technically, the 49ers don't even have to cut him. They can just keep him on a no-call, no-show list until he does show up to the 49ers facility and all that stuff. So, we'll see what that leads us to in a few weeks. Maybe we can make a follow-up video on that. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. Summer, it's been crazy with the World Cup and stuff like that. Quarterfinals today, France versus Morocco. So I can't wait to see that. And yeah, maybe I'll talk some World Cup stuff. While the 49ers are on a hiatus a bit, little mini camp and stuff like that. And then training camp starts in a few weeks. That should be a fun time right there. And can't wait for another season of 49er football. So yeah, that's it, guys. I'll catch you guys up later. Just want to do a quick update about the 49ers and stuff like that. And yeah, you guys have a good one. Have a good time. Nice seeing you guys again. And you guys have a good one. Go Niners all day.